Greetings, folks. This is Volt, and it's time to get back to Arkham Horror like it's 2018. I have not forgotten my efforts to complete all of the achievements in Return to the Night of the Zealot, using only cards that had been released as of the date that the Return to the Night of the Zealot box hit stores. And here we are with today's contestant, that classic investigator, Roland Banks. The goal for this deck is to accomplish two particular achievements. One is defeat the Ghoul Priest in, well, it doesn't have to be in Return to the Gathering, but defeat the Ghoul Priest, landing the final blow with Lita Chandler's reaction ability, which is her extra damage on a monster enemy. Kind of surprised that hasn't happened organically with any of the other decks I've run through this yet, but Roland is ready for war and aiming to destroy every ghoul that he encounters, so I think he's in best position to do that. The more important achievement that I'm going for, and maybe one of the hardest to get, is interrogate all 6 cultists in the Midnight Masks. This is famously challenging, particularly with solo. There is a lot of ground to cover in Midnight Masks. Significant amount of luck has to go my way, but I'm going to give it my best shot, and Roland's best shot. So what about the deck? I am leaning here on... Actually, as I look at it, sort of more Seeker access than Guardian access for Roland. But let's go through piece by piece. I'm taking, of course, weapons. We've got Roland's 38 Special, and the classic Machete, and the classic, not really quite as good as Machete, but it's a backup, even though it costs more, 45 Automatic. Those are our 5 weapons. We're going to be relying on Roland's ability to discover a clue after defeating an enemy, to get as many of the clues as we can through these scenarios. Ally-wise, we are leaning on the disposable Seeker assets. We have 2 laboratory assistants who draw 2 cards when played. We got 2 art students that just straight up discover a clue when you play them. And then we've got Dr. Malison, who is 1 cost, 2 health, 2 sanity soak. Each of the art students and laboratory assistants are 1 health, 2 sanity. Good for Roland with his base 9, but 9 health, 5 sanity. And Dr. Malison can drop a clue to cancel a bad encounter card, shuffle it back, and draw a different one. Being able to drop a clue synergizes with Roland's ability to pick up a clue after defeating an enemy, and to power up his 38 Special to have +3 instead of +1 fist when there's a clue on Roland's location. It also empowers Inquiring Mind, which is one of the skills I have, 3 question marks only if there's a clue here. Other cards. I'm taking 1 Fine Clothes. This card has one specific purpose, and that is to parlay Lita Chandler at the end of the gathering. I am trying to accomplish that achievement where Lita finishes the Ghoul Priest. To do that best, I want to do it at the end of the gathering, and that means successfully parlaying Lita Chandler. That's what this is here for. Events. We're doing the Calling in Favors approach. Calling in Favors, 1 cost event. Play it, return an ally you have in play to your hand, search the top 9 cards of your deck for an ally and play it, reducing its cost by X, where X is the cost of the ally returned to your hand. So, bouncing laboratory assistants and art students in and out of play to reap their draw more cards, or, frankly, more importantly, pick up a clue for free abilities. I'm taking 2 emergency caches, need some money. As a reminder, the card pool here is only through and until the Threads of Fate Mythos pack from the Forgotten Age. So, this is kind of it at level 0. I am taking 1 evidence. This may seem like overkill, since Roland is evidence on a stick, but frankly, it's another double book commit, and there are locations, random chance of them happening, but pretty good chance, in the Gathering, and even more so in the Midnight Masks, where even in solo, there will be 2 clues on them, some of them High Shroud. I don't mind having 1 of these in my back pocket for one of those instances. 2 copies of Logical Reasoning that can either heal 2 horror or discard a terror from my threat area, i.e. looking at you, Frozen in Fear. But I do plan to upgrade out of these by the time we get to Midnight Masks, because Midnight Masks is far less about horror demolishing you and tarot cards sticking around your threat area, and more about you got to go fast if you want to get all 6. But for now, for the Gathering, especially Return to the Gathering, I'm happy to have this, and frankly happy to have more double willpower commits. On the hunt. This is key. My goal in the gathering is to defeat as many of the victory point ghouls as possible. I would love to get all of them. I want to at least get all but one. On the hunt is integral to my being able to fish them up out of the encounter deck, and while I'm at it, hopefully pick up a clue or two for my troubles. Shortcut. Movement is king, especially for Midnight Masks, so I better start with Shortcut anyway. Shortcut also synergizes well with Roland's caring about whether there's a clue on his location status. If I draw an enemy where I don't have a clue with me, but I have Shortcut, then I can play Shortcut on my turn and scoot over to a location with a clue, and then defeat the enemy there and pick up the clue. Compression is vital in solo, and that kind of compression is very powerful. Finally, skills. I mentioned Inquiring Mind. I've got 2 Perceptions. I've got 2 Vicious Blows. I'm not taking Overpower. Hopefully we'll be getting high enough with Roland's Fist and his weaponry, and later on allies. We'll get to that in a minute. But being able to throw a casual Book 5 test to pick up the odd clue when an enemy isn't around, I think is good. And 2 Eurekas to help search if I am successful on a book or willpower test. While Roland's Foot is not likely to pass any tests, we're going to be eating Grasping Hands, but Roland has the health for it. Roland's base 3 willpower does mean I have a reasonable shot at passing some willpower tests, especially in the gathering. So I'm bringing these along. And finally, 1 Guts to round things out. There are some bad willpower treacheries, especially in Return to the Gathering, that I'll want to use this for. But it will be dropped as I upgrade. What do I mean by upgrades? So my goal, I have a short plan worked out for my first 12 experience points. Leading off with Charisma, I need to have, after the gathering, I need to have 2 allies in play. A primary one, which will be either Lita Chandler or the Beat Cop level 2 that I'm going to drop Fine Clothes for, and a slot for my rotating disposable allies, Art Student, Lab Assistant, Dr. Mallison. I'm going to drop a Guts, 1 copy of Guts for Pathfinder, which is a free move every turn, so long as you're not engaged with an enemy. Maybe because Roland's just killed an enemy. Vital. And Ever Vigilant, level 1, which is, again, one of the only economy options in this limited card pool that we can take. Play up to 3 assets from your hand, reducing the resource cost of each by 1. I'd love to have stick to the plan for these. I don't have experience space for it, I don't think. And frankly, I don't think I could either. I've got to check back when that was released. And then we'll drop the Logical Reasonings for a second Pathfinder, a second Ever Vigilant, and I'll also get a second Charisma. Now, you may be looking at that and saying, Volt, what are you on about? You can only get a maximum 10 experience points in Return to the Gathering. And I'd say, you're correct. That's why I'm going to insert Curse the Rougarou after completing the Gathering. Costs 1 to play Curse the Rougarou. The scenario can give up to 4 experience. One of them is on an enemy in the deck, but I've got on the hunts. The other are on locations. So if I get max points in the Gathering and max points in Rougarou, that's 13 total points to spend before going into Midnight Masks. I can miss 1, and I'll be comfortable with that. This is the loadout I want to have going into Midnight Masks. And again, Midnight Mask is where the key effort here is. I'm trying to accomplish that difficult achievement. If after doing so, frankly, I don't know what I'll take to go into Devourer Below. That's almost a victory lap, although I sure would like to win after doing all that work. But that's the deck, and let's set things up for Return to the Gathering. Be right back. All right, we've got Return to the Gathering set up. Let's get our random basic weakness. I've got all the weaknesses here for our card pool through and until the beginning of the Forgotten Age. What do we get? Paranoia. Discard all your resources. Classic that we love to hate. All right. We've got the Gathering set up here. Let's put Roland in the study, as always. We have 3 Doom Track in the first agenda. We need to gather 3 clues, and we can spend them in the guest hall. Let's take a look at our opening hand. Let's put Cover Up back. Okay, an early machete is good, and early emergency cash is good. Evidence, I don't want early. The locations with 2 clues don't show up until later. Perception. A reason to hang on to perception is that the first location is Shroud 3, and being able to investigate at 5 covers most of the bag. If I can't pull an enemy and defeat them and get the clue that way. And shortcut is good to have in my hand. I think, actually, I'm going to keep most of these and just draw one other card. An Inquiring Mind. All right. All right, let's do this. Study. Shroud 3, 1 clue. You can spend 2 actions to draw 3 cards. Forced when an enemy attempts to spawn at a location not in play, you put that location in play and spawn the enemy there. So no cheesing away the victory point ghouls or losing them, from my perspective. That would spawn in the attic or cellar if they are drawn before we advance to Act 2. All right, now, the question, always the starting question is, do I want to spend 2 actions to draw 3 cards? I don't necessarily need to. I could play the machete, investigate with perception to try to get this clue, play e-cash. These are all things that I can do to advance the game state. But, on the other hand, there are cards here that I want to get to in my deck. I want to get to the On the Hunts to be able to pull the victory point enemies. I want to be able to get a fine close by the end of the scenario to parlay Lita. Given that, I think drawing through my deck is a useful thing to do. So we are going to spend 2 actions to draw 3 cards. Well, there's an On the Hunt, and there's a fine close. I was just talking about both of those and a laboratory assistant, so hey, seems good. And my last action, I'm going to play a weapon. I'm going to play my machete so we can swing at 5. All right. No enemies. We upkeep in 2. Second laboratory assistant. Seems good. Mythos, we're at 1 of 3. Shuffle this for good luck. And frankly, I may play On the Hunt right off the rip. If I can pull one of the victory point enemies, I can swing away at it 5 on 3. That seems pretty good. Yes, let's do it. We have On the Hunt for a reason, and the reason is to do this. We'll play On the Hunt, search the top 9. What do we got? Not my deck. Oh my goodness. A shuffled deck is a shuffled deck. 9 from the encounter deck. Oh my, what am I doing? There we go. Well, so we have 2 victory point options. The Flesh Eater, fight 4, health 4, evade 1 that spawns in the attic. Or the Ghoul from the Depths, fight 3, health 4, evade 2, spawns in the bathroom, has retaliate. Since I'm swinging 5 at this point, I think what I want is the Ghoul from the Depths. So we'll shuffle those back, put this guy into play in my threat area. All right, seems good. And now we're going to try to defeat him. We're swinging 5 on 3. Whoops. That is most of the bag. So, yeah, skulls are minus X, where X is the number of ghoul enemies at your location. I'm still covered. Cultist is minus 1. If you fail, take a horror. Tablet's minus 2. If there's a ghoul enemy at your location, take a damage. Even if you pass, we're swinging away 5 on 3. Elder Sign is good to start with. +1 for each clue in your location. It's just a pass, but hey, we did it. I didn't pull out, I should pull out Elder Sign trackers. Where is that? Here we go. Nope. Let's try that again. Come on. There we go. And we'll make one a... Come on. My goodness. Change token. Auto fail. There we go. And we have 1 Elder Sign. Seems good. All right. Sorry about that. Let's attack this guy again. 5 on 3. +1 is a pass. We've done 4 damage. 1 victory point ghoul is defeated. We'll use Roland's ability, which... I'm not sure how I lost the reaction. There we go. Yes, we'll use Roland's ability to pick up a clue after defeating an enemy to pick up this clue. Okay? And then, yeah, we'll move. Seems good. To the guest hall, 1 shroud, no clues. I can't take draw actions here. Fine. Seems a good start. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into a second shortcut. May those swear 2 of 3. Our encounter card is a Grave Eater. Fight 2, health 2, evade 2. After it attacks you, discard a card at random from your hand. Now, there's no clue here, but this is what I was talking about. I've got shortcuts, so I can play a shortcut now on my turn to take a free move that does not trigger an attack of opportunity, and then go defeat this enemy in a location where there's a clue. And I think we'll do the bedroom. I believe it's slightly higher shroud. Yeah, shroud 2. The bathroom is shroud 1. Shroud 2, 1 clue. After you fail a skill test investigating here, discard a card at random from your hand. We don't intend to investigate here at all. We're going to stab this Grave Eater with machete. We're testing 5 against 2. Machete, of course, is +1 fist. And if the attacked enemy is the only enemy engaged with you, you deal +1 damage. So 5 on 2 for 2 damage. -1 is a pass. This guy's defeated. We will use Roland's ability to get this clue. Seems good. And then we'll move back to the guest hall. And I am going to want to play some of these cards before we move on and advance. I think I'm going to play yeah, let's play a laboratory assistant. We play the fine clothes. I don't want to lose the fine clothes. But is there crypt chill in this scenario? I think there is. And I don't want to lose the fine clothes to crypt chill. I am going to play, yeah, laboratory assistant first. And we draw 2 cards. A logical reasoning and an art student. Okay. I'm going to have to discard a card, aren't I? I could have planned that a little bit better. Well, I guess I could play the shortcut and not have to discard. Sure, why not? Let's play the shortcut and scooch on over to the bathroom. That's probably not the best use of my time, but it... Oh, wait, no. I didn't need to do that, because with the lab assistant... No, we're not doing that. Because with the lab assistant, my hand size, max hand size, is 10. So we're good. We don't need to waste the shortcut. I prefer to use that like I just did when you've drawn an enemy, but you're not at a location with a clue. Anyway, no enemies on the board. We upkeep into Paranoia. We lose our resources. Now, the draw happens before you take resources, so I go down to 0, and then I get 1. So I lost 1 resource and the draw. I'll take it. Doom track of 3. This resets. Either we discard a card at random from our hand, or we take 2 horror. I am actually going to take 2 horror because I've got allies to soak it. We'll put 1 on Roland, 1 on the lab student. Because I don't want to lose the fine clothes. Okay. And this goes away. We have a Doom track of 7 on the second agenda. Our encounter card is Rats. Fight 1, health 1, evade 3. Hunter. They deal a damage. Now, I could shortcut again. But I'm inclined to just walk there and eat the attack of opportunity because it's just damage. The ghoul does damage in horror and makes you discard a card. 1 point of damage with 9 health. Roland really doesn't care about. So we're just going to walk into the bathroom. Come on. There we go. 1 shroud, 1 clue. After you reveal a funky symbol while investigating, you lose all your actions and end your turn. We're not going to investigate. We're going to kill rats. We're testing 5 on 1 with the machete. -2 is a pass. They are defeated. We get this clue. So, I could now go back to the guest hall and advance next turn. But there are cards that I want to play before that. And when you advance, you have to take a difficult test that is likely to make me discard cards. So, since I've talked about it being important for my endgame plan, third action, let's play these fine clothes. We're going to suit up. Roland found his tux. It was hanging in the bathroom. I guess it was drying, question mark, on the towel rack. Who knows? No enemies on the board. We upkeep into Dr. Mallison. We're getting all our allies, which makes it a little awkward if I draw Calling in Favors later. There's, what, one more art student in the deck? But that's fine. Mythos, we're at 1 of 7 Doom. Our encounter card. Rotting Remains. Test willpower 3 for each point you fail by. Take a horror. I think I just commit logical reasoning to this to attempt to not get bodied. So let's do that. We're testing 5 against 3. -2 is an exact pass. Seems good. All right. Now we're going to move back to the guest hall. We're going to play Emergency Cash now that we've gotten past Paranoia. Do I advance now? Yes. Yes, I think I do. Okay. So we're going to advance. Does not have to be end of the round. We just do it now. So we put the hole in the wall into play. We move there immediately. Then I test Brain 4 and have to discard a random card from my hand for each point I fail by. I was planning to commit logical reasoning to that test, but I think it was more important to not die to the Rotting Remains. So we scoot over here. Hole in the wall. Now we put the attic, cellar, and parlor locations into play. Parlor comes into play. Can't go in there yet. And with return, there's 2 versions of the attic, and there's 2 versions of the cellar. We've randomized them and set the unused ones aside. And now we test Brain 4. I can't... Actually, you know what I could do? Yeah, this is cute. During the test, during the lightning bolt window that's available before committing and after committing cards, I'll play Shortcut to zip up to either the attic or the cellar, where there will be clues, and then I can commit Inquiring Mind to this willpower test. And I think we're going to do... Let's do the... I tend to like to go to the attic first. It's the original version. 1 shroud, 2 clues. Victory 1. After you enter, you take a horror. Because I have more allies, I am going to put that horror on the existing laboratory assistant, because she'll be replaced with another ally soon enough, is the hope. Fine. Now I'll commit Inquiring Mind to the test. We're testing 6 against 4. A skull is 0. There's no ghouls here. We pass. Okay. And now, one more action. Shroud 1, I can just probably pick up these clues with some raw investigates. But I do want to get an ally on the board. Although, what I'm probably going to need to do is play an art student in the cellar. Maybe, maybe not. No, we'll play Dr. Mallison. Because it costs only 1, and he's 2 and 2 soak. Alright, seems good. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into a Calling in Favors. So we could cash in Dr. Mallison to find the other art student, although it's only a 50-50 shot of finding her, so that's a little fine. Mythos, we're at 2 of 7 Doom. Our encounter card. We are frozen in fear. Okay. Yeah, that is awkward. Makes your first move, fight, or evade take an additional action. Test Brain 3 at the end of your turn. If you succeed, discard it. I don't have any brain commits at the moment. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to attempt to not move, fight, or evade this round. We'll draw a card. Second Machete. That's not a brain commit. It is what it is. But we are going to try to pick up these clues. I'll just investigate raw. We're testing 3 against 1. I have perception, but I want to save it for a difficult test in the basement. So 3 on 1. -2 is a pass. We get one of these clues. Let's do that again. 3 on 1. -3 is a fail. We do not get the clue. All right. It's fine. We're making good time. We can afford to pause a little bit here. Now we do the Frozen in Fear test. We're just testing 3 on 3. Elder Sign. No clues here, but it's still a 0. We pass. Goodbye, Frozen in Fear. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into Roland's 38 Special. That's good to see. We're at 3 of 7 Doom. Our encounter card. Ancient Evils. We're at 4 of 7 Doom. Okay. All right. That's fine. We're going to investigate again. 3 on 1. -2 is a pass. We get the other clue. I think we're just going to move twice. 1, 2, down into the cellar. Oh, it's the original version of the cellar also. 4 Shroud, 2 clues, victory 1. After you enter, take a damage. Roland will, actually, Dr. Malison will happily take that damage. Why not? Okay. No enemies. We upkeep. Emergency cash. All right. We're at 5 of 7 Doom. Let's see our encounter card. The Acolyte of Umordoth. I don't mind a ghoul, since he's a way to pick up a clue. But he is going to take 2 hits. Fight 3, health 3 of 8, 2. If I had no cards in hand, he couldn't be evaded. We're not going to be evading him anyway. We're just going to be fighting this guy. So, let's do exactly that. With Machete, we're testing 5 on 3. 0's a pass. That's 2 damage. Do it again. 5 on 3. Tablet is a pass, but I take a damage, which Roland can take. This guy's defeated. We use Roland's ability to get one of these clues. And now I am going to spend 3 to play Roland's 38 Special to have it ready for when even more difficult enemy shows up. Okay, no enemies. We upkeep. There's Guts. All right. Mythos. We're at 6 of 7. Counter card. A Grave Eater. Regular ghoul. Okay. Well, this will give me the clues, but what I'm lacking are the victory point ghouls. And I don't yet have my second on the hunt either. Well, let's handle the issue at hand. Machete, Grave Eater, 5 against 2. -2 is a pass. This guy's defeated. And with Roland's ability, we get the last clue. So we have all the clues that we need. But I want to find on the hunt. And I want to get at least one more of the victory point ghouls. Well, I do think I want to make my stand. I'm thinking about moving back to the hallway. But I'm also aware that one of the victory point ghouls spawns in the cellar. But I'm also aware. I have a spare clue, and I'd rather drop it in a location that doesn't have victory. If I want to Dr. Malison. So yeah, I am going to move back to the hallway, but we're not advancing yet. Because advancing spawns the Ghoul Priest, and then it's time to rumble with the Ghoul Priest. I have 7 cards. Am I just drawing a card? I could play eCash to be full up on resources. But I don't really need that many more resources. I've played most everything that I want to play. It's really just the other allies, if Dr. Malison bites it, to replace with others. So I think what I want is to draw a card, and I'll let the eCash go, frankly. So yeah, let's draw a card. Eureka. Okay. That might help me fish for my other on the hunt. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into second Eureka. Let's discard. Should I discard the Calling in Favors? No, it's got commits. It's got a commit. We'll discard the eCash. Mythos. All right. 7. All right, we shuffle the discard pile into the encounter deck, which is a little frustrating, finding my way to the victory point ghouls. We discard from the top until a ghoul is discarded, and I draw it. Maybe it'll be a victory point ghoul? I'm happy to get past these treacheries. Holy mackerel. It's a ghoul specifically, so the rats don't count. All right, it's just a regular ghoul. Regular grave eater. But hey, we're back to like a third of the deck discarded, so I guess that's good. And now, Agenda 3, last agenda, Doom Track 10. At the end of the enemy phase, each unengaged ghoul moves towards the parlor. At the end of the round, add a Doom to the agenda for each ghoul in the hallway or parlor. All right. But now, oh, that was the agenda advance, but I still draw a regular Mythos card. Ah, it's another Grave Eater. All right. Well, this is why I've got the 38 special. It'll still deal 2 damage, even when I have multiple enemies engaged with me. So I do need to clear out these ghouls. So we're going to shoot 1 with the 38 special. We are testing 5 against 2. 0's a pass. He's gone. Machete, the other one, 5 against 2. -1 is a pass. He's gone. Oh, I should have... Oh, no, I couldn't commit Eureka because those are fist tests. Maybe I investigate? Yeah. I'm trying to get a filtered draw going here, so I'm going to investigate. Do I commit them both? Because that will let me do a search top 3 twice. Yeah, I'm fishing for On the Hunt. Because On the Hunt, they spawn engaged with you. Yes. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to investigate, and I'm going to commit both Eurekas. So we're testing 5 against 1. We pass, so we get to search our top 3 and draw, and we do it twice. I'll take that Vicious Blow. And do it again. I'll take that On the Hunt. Okay. Good. All right. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into 45 automatic. I have to discard a card. I think it's going to be that 45 automatic. I haven't seen the other art student, which is just soak at this point, and that's fine. Yeah, a foot commit is least helpful at the moment, so we'll discard the automatic. All right. Mythos, we're at 1 of 10. We're going to play On the Hunt. Let's look for a victory point ghoul. Ironically, a victory point ghoul was about to be drawn. But hey, I'll spawn and engage with me. So Icy Ghoul, fight 3, health 4 of aid 4. Corpse Hungry Ghoul, fight 4, health 3 of aid 3. I have Vicious Blow, so I could defeat the Corpse Hungry Ghoul in a single hit, so long as it lands. I think, since I'm prepared for it, yes, that's what I want. Okay. Now let's see if we can't kill it. So we're testing 5 on 4 with the machete. 6 on 4 with Vicious Blow. Do I want to cover -3 or -4? He doesn't have Retaliate. I only just have 1 more machete. No, I think it is best to go for the... I think it's best to go 2 up. 6 on 4. -1. With Vicious Blow, we deal 3 damage. This guy's defeated. All right. There's still 2 more victory points in this deck, but I am past my On the Hunts. So if I advance at the end, that was my first action. If I advance at the end here and forego these other victory points, potential victory points, what will happen? I'll get I'll have 8 instead of 10. I'll be able to spend 7 plus 1 going into Rougarou. And in Rougarou, I could, if I get everything, just barely be able to get a second Pathfinder. I'll be down 1 logical, one ever vigilant. I think what we do, we can afford to let a few more rounds go and see if one of the other ghouls will show up. I mean, heck, with Malison, I could actually just drop a clue to reshuffle and increase my odds of finding one. Yeah. We'll see if we can't get a little more. But I think first what we do, we draw, right? Get some more cards. Or at least 1 more card. Cover up. Roland's weakness. If that shows up, I am going to need to spend 3 actions or defeating an enemy in order to deal with it. Which is why I have Malison, so I can drop a clue here where it's Shroud 1. But I think it's worth tempting that fate, so let's draw a card. Second art student. Well, all right, that means calling in favors is not real helpful. You know what? We're going to draw another card. We're just charging ahead. Evidence. Okay, fine. All right, no enemies on the board. We upkeep. Second 45 automatic. Let's discard. I'm just thinking about commits now. Let's discard 1 art student. Yes, that's fine. Mythos. We're 2 of 10 doom. Our encounter card. Acolyte of Amordoth. So I think I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. And I'm going to use Dr. Malison. I'll drop a clue here. To cancel this, put it back, and draw again. Oh, I never flip this over? No, I did. It's fine. So he goes back. What do we get instead? The Zealot Seal. I have 3 or fewer cards in hand. I do not. So I have to test Willpower 2, and if I fail, I discard 2 cards at random from my hand. So 3 against 2. I don't mind too bad about discarding. Let's just take this 3 on 2. Elder Sign. Okay, we pass. There's still time. There's still time to juice this for another couple rounds. I'm thinking of forcing out cover up and then just dealing with it. Because if I can reshuffle my deck, then I might get back to the on the hunts. Seems silly, but it's possible. Yeah, let's draw. Second calling in favors, draw again. There's cover up. Okay, good. Now we can work on clearing it, since there is a clue here. We're testing 3 against 1. And we'll commit... we'll commit the... Do I bother? I'll have to discard. So yeah, I'll commit the 2 calling in favors. So we're 5 on 1. Didn't need to do that, but we do remove a clue from cover up. Because a clue was dropped in this location thanks to Dr. Malison. Okay. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into an Inquiring Mind. 3 of 10 doom. Our encounter card. Obscuring Fog. Okay, well now it's not so trivial to remove. It's Shroud 2. Shroud 3, excuse me. But after successfully investigating, it'll go away. So I just need to accomplish that, which I can do. Yeah, let's get that out of the way. We're going to investigate. I'll commit Perception, so I'm testing 5 on 3. Tablets -2. There's no ghoul, so I don't take any damage. I do draw a card. Another perception. I remove a clue from cover-up, and the obscuring fog goes away. Let's investigate again. We are 3 on... commit the perception again. Keep drawing. 5 on 1. Cultist -1. If you failed, take a horror. I did not, so I draw a card. All right, cover-up is handled. And honestly, do I draw again? So I can then, do I investigate again? And then I can use Malison again if I don't like the card that I get. Let's think this through, though. It'll be 4 out of 10 Doom. If I get one of the other victory point ghouls, they spawn in the attic. And this one spawns in the attic, the other spawns in the cellar. I would need to move, attack. That should work. I should be able to do that. Okay. So, yeah. Let's try to pick the clue back up. We're testing 3 on 1. I'll commit... I'll commit this art student to be 4 on 1. There's a pass. We get the clue. Okay. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into logical reasoning. Mythos. We're at 4 of 10. Encounter card. Chill from below. I will use Malison to drop a clue. Just shuffle this back. Try again for a victory enemy. Hey! The icy ghoul! It worked! Spawns in the cellar. Ha! Perfect. I love it when a plan comes together. All right, now let's try to kill this damn thing. We move on down to the cellar. Icy ghoul engages. Fight 3, health 4 of 8/4. We can attack with the machete. Testing 5 on 4. Does not have retaliate. Yeah, we just go for it. 5 on 4. 0 is a pass. That does 2 damage. Attack again. Machete. 5 on 4. We knew an auto-fail would have to arrive at some point. It's fine. All right. So he gets a chance to hit me back for 2 damage and a horror. Horror will go on... Horror will go on Malison. 2 damage can go on Roland. That's fine. All right. No problem. Upkeep. All right. Since the deck reshuffles, we do take a horror. And I think... Should I let Malison go with that? Do you take... I wonder if you take the horror before it reshuffles. Let me check. Upon completion of the draw, it takes a horror. So I don't take the horror until after I've done the draw, which means if I put it on Malison, he misses the reshuffle, which is fine. It's no big deal. I was just curious what the answer was. Because I have another lab assistant that I could play. Yeah, I'm going to let Dr. Malison eat that horror. He did his job. Right. And now I have to discard. And I think... I think it'll be the automatic. We're not doing foot tests here. Okay. Now, the ghoul does not move because he is engaged with me, which means I don't have to add an extra doom. We're at 5 of 10. What's our encounter card? Frozen in Fear. Okay. Not great, but you know, we'll deal with it. Let's see if we can't kill this ghoul. It's going to take us 2 actions to attack. So we're testing 5 on 3. I do really want to nail this. So... But I only have... The only other fist commit I have is the machete. And it's actually a little bit awkward, because I can't use the Inquiring Minds. And I don't want to use up the vicious blow. Look, he doesn't have retaliate. We're just going to attack. 5 on 3. Elder Sign. 2 damage. Icy Ghoul's defeated. All right. There's still one more victory point ghoul in the deck, but I'm not hanging around for that. We are going to move back to the hallway. And now we test Frozen in Fear, and there's a clue here, so I'm going to commit Inquiring Mind. We're testing 6 on 3. -1 is a pass. Goodbye, Frozen in Fear. All right. No enemies on the board. It's happening. We upkeep into a Perception. That's good. The parlay is a book test, I believe. And now I'm comfortable advancing. I don't want to let it get too far because I still want to accomplish this. Yes, so we'll spend our 3 clues. The parlor is revealed. We put Lita Chantler into play there, and the Ghoul Priest spawns with us. All right, Ghoul Priest and Lita Chantler. Okay, Lita Chantler is here in the parlor. We reveal the parlor. 2 Shroud, no clues. You can spend an action to parlay, test book 4 to get Lita Chantler. This is why we have Fine Clothes. Ghoul Priest engages us. Fight 4, health 5, evade 4, 2 damage, 2 horror, victory 2. We are going to be... Maybe I should have kept that foot commit now that I think about it. I do want to move. All right, well, interesting. Now, we do have to add an extra doom because there's a ghoul at the end of the round in the hallway or parlor. And now our regular doom, we're at 7 of 10. That's really funny. The Flesh Eater has spawned in the attic. Shoot. Because of that, now I can't win. And now I can't win using Lita to finish off the Ghoul Priest. Because I don't have enough actions. See, he has 5 health. I could defeat him in 2 hits right here if I nailed them both with the Vicious Blow. But if I move and parlay Lita, then I can do 4 damage in 1 hit, but that's not quite enough. And then when the Flesh Eater moves down, we'll have to add 2 Doom, and then we'll Doom out. Oh, that's really funny. I think defeat the Ghoul Priest with Lita Chantler is once again gonna have to wait for another day. Because if I evaded, moved, yeah, he'll add Doom, like what, 7, 8, 9? No, even if I moved up, if I evaded him, moved up, and fought the Flesh Eater, I don't have enough actions to kill it. No. All right, well, it is what it is. Let's just kill this guy. Keep your eyes on the prize, and the prize is Midnight Masks. I still have a couple other runs to get the rest of the achievements here. One of them is going to be on do this on expert difficulty. Maybe I can accomplish that then. That might be pretty difficult, but I have some thoughts on how to potentially accomplish that. That's funny. All right. Well, let's see if we can't kill this guy. We are firing with the gun because there's a clue here, thanks to my foresight, question mark, which means we're swinging 7 against 4, and we'll commit Vicious Blow to make it 8 against 4. 0's a pass. We do 3 damage. We fire again. 7 on 4. We'll commit this machete to make it 8 on 4. It's the gun that shoots swords. -1. And there we go. And we advance. One day, Lita Chantler would get the killing blow on this guy, but that day was not today. Fine. We are going to burn the house down so that Lita joins us. Resolution 1. Let's take a look. Right. Okay. Here Your house has burned to the ground. We earn Lita Chandler. Seems good. Whoops, there we go. Yeah, how many elder signs? 4, but they were all just you pass. Roland's elder sign is not that great. What else? We take a mental trauma, which is not great for Roland, but important for getting Lita. And now we get victory plus 2 bonus experience. So we have, my goodness, what am I trying to do? This is what I'm trying to do. We have 7 total, plus 2 is 9. All right, so we didn't get every point. One of it was just showed up too late. But we got all but 1, and that works for the plan that I'm going with. So, pausing here, we're going to roll into Curse the Rougarou next. Be right back. All right, here we are, set up with Curse of the Rougarou, or at least mostly set up. The one piece we need to do, we've got our 4 sets of locations here. Let's randomize those, pick one to remove from the game, this one. And then we'll start with this one. Where are we starting? We're starting New Orleans. Okay. And the Cursed Shores, the 2 New Orleans locations. Let's randomize those. Good. All right. Roland Banks starts at the Cursed Shores. Here's our upgrades. We spent 1 point to play Curse the Rougarou, 3 for Charisma, 2 for a Beat Cop level 2, 2 more for 2 copies of Pathfinder. Again, this is Arkham like it's 2018. This was before Taboo, so Pathfinder still is only 1 victory point to take. And finally, 1 point on Ever Vigilant. Right, 3, 5, 6, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus 1. Okay, and we're taking out the Fine Clothes, Dr. Mallison, the Guts, and the Logical Reasoning. Let's shuffle these in. Okay. Seems good. And we also now have Lita Chandler in the deck as well. Let's take a look at our opening hand. Well, a weapon is good to see. These are all the allies. Pathfinder is great to see early. I am going to need allies for Soak to absorb horror. And I certainly don't mind seeing an art student early that will allow me to get the 1 clue I need at the opening area. So I think, yeah, we'll put the other art student and the lab assistant back, keep the others, an evidence, and an emergency cache. That's fine. Okay. We have Doom Track of 5 on the first of 3 agendas. Shuffle this for good luck. We need 1 clue and to spend them at a bayou location. To start, we're at the Cursed Shores, which is a bayou location. 1 shroud, no clues. When I leave, I need to choose and discard a skill card from my hand. I don't have any. Seems good. And you can spend an action to take a damage to give yourself +2 to the next test you make this turn. Doubtful I'm ever going to be doing that. Okay, let's get started. And let's get started in style by playing an emergency cache, and then playing Machete, and then playing Pathfinder, and immediately using it to move to one of these 2 New Orleans locations. Let's take the Garden District. 1 shroud, 0 clues. You can spend an action and test agility 7 to break into a greenhouse and look around. Found a strange doll. We're not doing any of that. We're going to be completing this scenario by defeating the Rougarou, so I'm not going to be playing any of the scavenger hunt mechanics. One day I will, for one of these, when I feel like having my solo investigator being able to turn to a werewolf on command. Not quite on command, but that day is not today. All right, that's it. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into a 45 automatic. Alternate weapon, fine. 1 of 5 Doom. This is shuffled. Our encounter card. Cursed Swamp. Test Brain 3. For each point you fail by, take a damage. If you're at a bayou location, you can't commit cards to this test. Well, I can't commit cards to this test anyway because I don't have any willpower commits, but I don't care that much about damage. So we're testing 3 on 3. We fail by 3 and take 3 damage. Gabe has taken me at my word that I don't care about damage. All right. Let's Pathfinder over into the other New Orleans location. Nope. 3 shroud, 1 clue. Broadmoor. You can spend an action to resign. We can't catch the beast, and it's a victory 1. So this is the clue I need and the victory point I need. Well, we are playing art student to get this clue, so let's do that. Interesting. So I could immediately head back and advance, which is going to make the curse start happening, which I am well aware of. And art student will be able to absorb some of that horror, but I will need more cards. I'm half inclined to build up a reserve of cards before I trigger the act advancement. At least maybe 2 cards? Like drawing this turn. Yeah, let's draw one more card at least. An inquiring mind. Well, I can't use that right away. Let's draw another card. Laboratory assistant. Okay, another source of horror. Soak. Good. All right, I feel better advancing next time after I play a lab assistant. All right, no enemies on the board. We upkeep into a perception. Fine. Okay, we're at 2 of 5 doom. Our encounter card. A swamp leech. This spawns at the bio location. Fight 4, health 1, no evade, can't be evaded. When it enters a non-bio location, you discard it. So, the idea being it's very hard to just straight up defeat, but if you slog through the bayou until you get out of the bayou, taking attacks of opportunity from it, then it will perish once you get to the non-bayou locations. All right. So, with that in mind, I could Pathfinder down. I'm contemplating just straight up trying to kill the thing. What's our bag look like? Not too great. The tablet is reveal another token. Put that down there. Skulls -2, -4 if you're at a biolocation. Cultist is -2, and if the Rougarou is at your location, reveal another token. Tablets reveal another token. If you fail until the end of the round, you cannot move. So you really want to be 2 up on tests, and with Machete, I'd only be 1 up on the Swamp Leech. So that's less than ideal. I think maybe I'm just going to be eating some damage. So when I leave Cursed Shores, I will need to discard a skill card, which will honestly probably be the Inquiring Mind. No, it probably should be the Perception. There is definitely value in having... well, the Perception does give me a draw. Meh, I'll think that through in a moment. Or I could draw some more cards. See, if I Pathfinder down, engage this guy, I could move back out to here. And that way it'll be dealing me 1 damage instead of 2 if I slog across the swamp. And I did take a big hit from that 1 treachery, so I do need to be mindful of that. But also, there is Lady Esprit, once she spawns. Do I have... No, see, I don't have any fist commits is the awkward bit. And passing 1 up is under half. No, I feel like it's better to keep the game state moving, notwithstanding the damage that I'm going to have to soak. 1 moment. Sorry for that. I was mulling over where we leave off. Whether I wanted to eat 2 damage from this Swamp Leech or try to find some other way of dealing with it. I mean, I could... Really, what I need is... Oh, it's probably... could I get up to +2 on the attack? No, you know what? We're going to... I don't feel comfortable absorbing 2 damage when I've already just been chunked for 3. So... if I Pathfinder in and then I move back out, I'm going to lose both of these then if I do that. No, we're going to charge blindly, boldly ahead. Boom. Back to the shores. Swamp Leech engages. But we advance. So we put Lady Esprit into play where we are. Then we put the other locations into play. And the Rougarou into play at any non-bio location. And then we shuffle the discard into the encounter deck along with the Curse of the Rougarou as encounter set. And then I get the Curse of the Rougarou. So whole bunch of stuff happens. We get Lady Esprit. She is here. We'll look at her in a moment. Now we get all this stuff from the Rougarou bag. Monster's Transformation is not going to be relevant. Encounter deck, all this shuffles in. We get the Curse of the Rougarou. We put these locations into play. Nope, not the whole bag. All right. So we got Riverside and the Brackish Waters. Shuffle these up. Okay. And then we got Wilderness and the Forgotten Marsh. And shuffle these up. All right. Seems good. Okay. And now... oh, we have to put the Rougarou somewhere. I don't yet have what I want to, like, fight him. But I might get it. Hopefully I'll get it. Let's put him... we'll put him back here at the Garden District. Put him behind us. I'm sure he will move on his own at some point. Okay. And now, whenever the Rougarou leaves the location, he leaves clues behind him. If I defeat them, R2. And then there's this whole other path that I'm not going to bother with. The goal is to defeat the Rougarou. Fight 3, health 5, evade 3, aloof, retaliate. To engage it, I have to spend a clue. And after it takes at least 1 damage during a phase, it moves to the location farthest from all investigators, i.e. me. All right. The other thing is that Lady Esprit, I can spend an action to exhaust her to heal 2 damage or gain 2 resources. So, like, that's a thing I could do. Of course, I'll take an extra attack of opportunity from the Swamp Leech to do that. But maybe I can do that later if I'm really hurting from the damage. So let's see. Brackish Waters to Riverside. Forgotten Marsh to Wilderness. I think we'll head to the Brackish Waters first. So I'm going to move. I'm going to take a damage. Roland's going to tough out this leech. I have to discard a skill card. We will discard... I do want the draw. But Inquiring Mind can protect me from a treachery. I'll discard the Perception. Brackish Waters, 1 shroud, 0 clues. While you're here, you can't play assets. And there's this fishing net business that we're not going to do. We're going to move again. We're going to take another damage from the Swamp Leech. We'll move up to this Riverside, which means then the Swamp Leech gets discarded. What did we find? Audubon Park. 3 shroud, 1 clue, victory 1. When you evade an enemy here, discard a random card from your hand. Roland does not do evasion. What he does do is play a lab assistant to draw 2 cards. There's Lita Chandler. She'll come into play as soon as one of these bites it. Oh, and calling in favors. Interesting. Okay. Curse the Rougarou does a horror at the end of your turn if you have not dealt any damage this turn, which is indeed a thing that has happened. So we're going to put that horror on the art student, I think. Okay. Fine. Lots of hemming and hawing, but we got there in the end. No enemies on the board that do anything. The Rougarou just hangs out. We upkeep into second automatic. We've got all these guns. All right. Mythos, 3 of 5. Our encounter card is a Marsh Gug. Fight 3, health 4, evade 3. Does 2 damage in a horror. Spawn any biolocation hunter. So any biolocation. So it does not need to be the closest biolocation. This is an issue, obviously, but it's an issue that I want to move in on and kill. Can I put it by... Those are -4. That's not great. It's a monster. So I would really like to have Lita Chandler in play before I'm dealing with it. So we're going to put it over here. And then maybe next round, it'll move in here. And then I'll move in and deal with it at the brackish waters. Sure. Okay. I'm tempted to call in favors to pull the art student back. Or I can just try to get this clue. Let's see. I'd be testing... I can probably just commit the evidence, and then I'd be testing 5 against 3. That seems pretty reasonable, given the bag. I forget what this other location does at Riverside. I think it has another benefit of some kind. Let's try to get this clue. We'll commit evidence, so we're testing 5 on 3. Cultist is -2, so we pass and get the clue. We will Pathfinder over to this other Riverside location. I forget what's here. Ah, that's good. 4 shrouds, 0 clues. While you're at Faubourg Marigny, I have no idea if that's how you pronounce it, reduce the cost of each asset you play by 1. So when you play an asset, it costs 1 less. I think this means that I could call in favors an art student, for example, and then the ally that comes into play will be not just 2 cheaper, but will be 1 cheaper. Like another 1 cheaper. So if, for example, I call in favors on the art student and find the beat cop, if I took 1 more resource, I would be able to do that. On the other hand, if I'm doing that, then I'm not getting the horror soak from the art student, which is about to be importantly used up to make room for Lita Chandler. I think I need more resources and I need more cards. We're going to draw a card. There's Beat Cop. It would have been nice to... I should have played Calling in Favors. I should have listened to gut. Well, you know what we are going to do? We're going to take a resource. We're going to build up here. We're going to get our way to having like Beat Cop and Lita Chandler on the board, which is fine. Okay. And we took a resource with our last action. So enemies. The Marsh Gug moves over here. Okay. And then we upkeep. Oh, we take a horror, which the art student bites it. Okay. We upkeep into a Vicious Blow. Oh, excellent. With Vicious Blow and Lita Chandler, I can defeat the Marsh Gug in a single hit. Perfect, actually. Very good. Mythos. What am I doing? We're at 4 of 5 Doom. Our encounter card is a Bog Gator. Fight 2, health 2, evade 2. Much worse at a biolocation, which thankfully right now it's not. Does mean that Marsh Gug... let's see. I could kill Gator. I could play Lita Chantler. I could Pathfinder in and kill Marsh Gug using Lita Chantler and Vicious Blow. I do think that's the play. So we're going to machete this Bog Gator. We're 5 on 2. -1 is a pass. He's defeated. No Curse the Rougarou on me this turn. I won't be getting the +1, or I should say the -1 cost from Football Marini, but more important to advance the game state. We will play Lita Chantler. Now our fist is 5, and when we attack a monster enemy, we can deal an extra damage. Let's Pathfinder in to muscle up to this Gug. And we're going to attack with the machete and Lita. We're testing 6 on 3. Vicious Blow makes it 7 on 3. And if it all hits, it's a monster. We'll do 4 damage. 7 on 3. Reveal another token. -1. 4 damage, defeated. No Curse the Rougarou ping on me today. Okay. No enemies on the board. We upkeep. Calling in favors. Well, no enemies that do anything. But now they're going to do something because we advance the agenda. Shuffle the discard into the deck. Find the non-bio location with the fewest clues on it. Move the Rougarou until it enters that location. Okay. Let's send him my way, because we are going to try to hit this thing. So we'll move it 1. Oop, come on. Here, here, here. Football Marini. And let's drop some clues. When each location it leaves. So Narlands, Cursed Shores, Brackish Waters. He does engage me as he... No, he's aloof, so he does not. All right. And I sent him here because it's not a victory point location. Okay. Seems good. Seems good. Doom track of 6 on the second agenda. And our encounter card is Dragged Under. More damage, huh? Test agility 3. If you fail, put it into your threat area. When you leave, take 2 damage and discard Dragged Under. The end of your turn, test agility 3. If you succeed, discard Dragged Under. Let's try to pass this test, because there is now a clue here. So let's commit Inquiring Mind. We're testing 5 on 3. That's a fail, unfortunately, because we are at a biolocation. So we are going to get chunked for this as well. Okay. Fine. So... Fight 3. Okay. We're going to Pathfinder back, which means we take 2 damage. 1 will defeat the lab assistant, and 1 will go on Lita Chantler, and then Dragged Under discards. But we're Pathfindering back to where the Rougarou is. We're going to play the Beat Cop for 1 less, because we're in Football Marini. Now our fist is 6. We're going to engage the Rougarou by spending a clue and an action. And then we're going to whack him with the machete. So we're testing 6, 7 against 3. And if we succeed, he's a monster, so that Lita can do an extra damage. So 7 on 3. +1, we pass by 5. With Lita, we do 3 damage. And the Rougarou runs away. We'll send him off to the other corner of the map. We'll send him over here. And then he drops a clue here, here, and here. Okay. Yeah, seems good. No Curse the Rougarou hit. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep into Roland's 38 special. I should play that before I leave. Mythos, we're at 1 of 6 doom. Dragged Under again. The damage is truly a problem. I mean, the funny thing is, I do have enough foot commits to get up to 2 on this. And I probably should. I'm not going to play these. So let's commit Calling in Favors, and the 45 automatic. We're testing 5 on 3. Game. -3 is a fail. We are still dragged under. This is a problem. And I think a problem worth staying in one place until I can draw my way out of it. Because it's when I leave my location. What do I need? I need another inquiring mind, since there is a clue here. And there is, yeah, there's at least one more. So let's draw. We're paranoid and lose our resources. I knew I should have played the special first. That's funny. Let's draw again. Perception, not real helpful. Let's draw again. Logical reasoning, that's not what I need. Okay. So, end of my turn, I take a horror, which will go on which will go on Lita Chandler. And we upkeep. And on the hunt. We could hunt for the victory point enemy, but I probably want my special in play first. All right, Mythos. We're 2 of 6. Encounter card is a Marsh Gug. You know what I need to do? I need to get to Lady Esprit, and I need to use her to heal. That's what I should have done instead of sitting there drawing. So let's put the Gug here at Brackish Waters. We can kill it, since we will be swinging at 7. That seems reasonable. We're going to eat this damage, but then we're going to go back to Lady Esprit, and she's going to heal. She's going to patch us up. Let's see. I could take a resource. I could play Roland Special. No, I need 2 actions to defeat the Gug. So we are going to Pathfinder. We are going to eat 2 damage. A little spooky. I am going to put it all on Roland, because we're going to try to have Lady Esprit patch us up. But we are going to Pathfinder over here to these Brackish Waters. Marsh Gug engages. We're going to attack. With all our boosts, we're swinging at 7 on 3. We'll deal 3 damage. We do unfortunately... Oh, I could use a B-Cop to do the final ping, actually. Yes, let's do that. But we're going to hit it first. 7 on 3 with the machete. -4 is an exact pass. With Lita, we deal an extra damage. And then we'll use Beat Cop and deal the damage to him to deal the final damage to kill this thing. I might as well use that to get a clue. There's no real reason not to. Now, let's move back to Lady Esprit. And then I will spend an action to exhaust Lady Esprit, deal her a horror, to heal 2 damage. Pretty important. Curse of Rougarou does not ping me because I did damage this turn. And yes, so Rougarou hangs out. We upkeep into a shortcut. That's good. Mythos, we're at 3 of 6 doom. Our encounter card. Now, do I play on the hunt? There is a victory point enemy. But probably better for me to keep on the hunt until I'm at the clue that I want, like the other victory point location that I want. Yeah, I'll save it for that. What's our encounter card? On the Prowl. So the Rougarou moves 1 location at a time to a non-bio location with no clues on it. Fine. We'll scoot him up here. He leaves a clue behind here. I am going to need to get potentially an extra clue from a victory point location because of that, but that's fine. But then that surges. It's on the Prowl again. Now, that means I do need to send it to a victory point location. So let's send it past me back up to Broadmoor, I think. Yeah, that's fine. So, blue here, here, and here. Okay, now I'm going to need to get 2 clues from a victory point location to get that victory. But, you know, that is how the game is played. And it surges into a cursed swamp. Willpower 3. For each point you fail by, take a damage. All right, 3 on 3. Do we have any willpower commits? I have this logical reasoning. We are going to throw this logical reasoning at it. We are 5 on... No, I can't. We're at a bio location. I can't commit cards. 3 on 3 it is. We take 2 damage. We'll put 1 on Lita and 1 on Roland. Okay. Well, let's again spend an action and exhaust Lady Esprit and Dealer a Horror to heal 2 damage from Roland. We need to... I want to get these clues. One of these is a victory point location, and I want it. So, we're going to Pathfinder down there. We have to discard Perception to leave the Cursed Shores. What's down here? Forgotten Marsh. When you leave here, you lose 2 resources. Well, ain't that a kick in the face? Because I want to play my special. All right, let's take a resource. And then let's play Roland's special. And frankly, then let's shortcut out of here so we dodge the resource loss. Let's move over here. Which one is it? The Trapper's Cabin. 3 Shroud, no clues. This is not the victory point location, so I don't care about this. It's fine. Okay. I didn't deal any damage to any enemies, so I take a Horror, which we'll put on Lita. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep into an Art Student. Okay. So we're at 4 of 6 Doom. Ripples in the Surface. Test Willpower 3. For each point you fail by, take a Horror. Well, I think for this I am going to now. I'm not at a bayou, so I can commit this logical reasoning. We're testing 5 on 3. Skulls -2 because we're not at a bio location, so we pass. Okay. Let's Pathfinder over to this location, which will be a victory point. 3 Shroud, 1 Clue, Victory 1. I can spend an action to gain 2 resources and take a Horror. Why I would want to do that. Oh, I should have on the Hunted. Well, I couldn't with Pathfinder because you can't use the Pathfinder move if you are engaged with an enemy. I'll want one next turn. I think I'm going to draw. I do, of course, have Art Student. But I'd have to kick out the heavily damaged Lita or the Beat Cop. I mean, I could let Lita go. No, we can productively... There's also Cover Up to think about. But we have some Shroud 1 locations that we could get back to. I mean, what am I looking for here? I'd love a... Do I have another Perception? No. There is another Inquiring Mind. Let's draw 1. A shortcut. That'll be helpful later. Let's draw again. Eureka. I could investigate. I really want a second book commit. And if I want to play on the hunt. Yes, okay, let's try it. We're going to investigate. We're going to commit Eureka and this Art Student. We're testing 5 on 3. Cultist is -2. The Rougarou is not at my location. So I get 1 of these clues, and I search my top 3. Ooh. It feels a little too late for Ever Vigilant. Do I just want the Inquiring Mind? Because to deal with whatever enemy I show up. There are clues all over the place now. Yeah, I'll take this inquiring mind. Okay. All right. I do take a horror. I didn't hurt anything this turn, which will go on the beat cop. Fine, it's fine. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep into. Second on the hunt. Interesting. Okay, we're at 5 of 6 doom. Well, the Rougarou is going to move again. So that's going to drop another clue here, which means I am going to have to get that clue to get the victory point. All right, whatever. We're going to spend 1 to play on the hunt. Let's search the top 9 of the encounter deck. What do we got? We have 1 enemy option, and it's this Marsh Gug. But you know what? That's fine. Marsh Gug is fine. Okay. Because we have Beat Cop to ping it down. So, we're fighting the Marsh Gug with a machete. We're testing 7 on 3. We're 4 up. -2 is a pass. With Alita Chandler, we do 3 damage. And I will use the Beat Cop to ping it to death. And then I will use Roland's ability to get this clue. Lady Esprit is no longer exhausted. And let's... I wonder where it's going to go. I forget exactly. On the prowl is fewest clues. I think the agenda advance... Actually, hold on. If I Pathfinder down to the marsh, shortcut over to the shores, I don't have... I'm 1 action short to be able to finish it off, because I need to spend a clue and an action to engage it. Fine. I need to get there anyway to get that clue. All right. Fine. We'll Pathfinder down to the Forgotten Marsh. We will... just move twice. Save the shortcut. Yes, we're going to move twice. So that means we lose our resource when we step out of here. And then when we step out of here, we have to discard a skill. Oh, that's unfortunate. I lose the Inquiring Mind, but that's fine. Right. Hello, Rougarou. Okay. Right. That's the end of the round. The enemies do nothing. We upkeep into an emergency cache. Mythos. Okay, now this advances. We shuffle the On the Prowls back into the encounter deck, and we move the Rougarou to the non-bio location with the fewest clues on it. So it does, unfortunately, scurry away. On the Prowls, shuffle back in. Okay. So it's going to go back to either Audubon Park or the Twisted Underbrush. I guess we should send it to Audubon Park so I don't have to keep losing resources. So, boom, boom, boom. Blue here, here, and here. Okay. All right. Finally, Doom track of 8. But at the end of the investigation phase, if it's not engaged with me, add a Doom. So it's really more like a Doom track of 4. But we are careening towards the finish. And part of the finish is I'm going to now play on the hunt to pull another enemy so that I can try to get this clue. Shuffle top 9. Search top 9. Bog Gator. Perfect. Okay. Good. Let's fight this Bog Gator. We're testing 7 against 2 with the machete. -4, but we still defeated it, and we use Roland's ability to get this clue. Okay. Let's Pathfinder back down. Let's move. So I don't think we have a skill card to lose. No, we do not. do I shortcut in? But what am I going to do with my last action? Like, I could engage it, but then it's going to wallop me for 2 damage and 2 horror, which seems unhelpful. So maybe I don't want to be in the bayou in case I draw some card that's really going to chunk me. Yeah, let's... On the other hand, I have a 1 in 7 chance of this draw being cover-up. And I don't want it to be. We're going to walk in normally and hope that we don't pay for it. All right. Staring down the werewolf. We upkeep into. It's not cover up. Good. It is another machete. We're at 2 of 8 doom because he was not engaged with me. What's our encounter card? Spectral Mist. Ah, perfect. Attaches to a bayou location. Let's fling it over here. Makes tests worse here, but hopefully that is not going to matter because we are going to spend an action and a clue to engage this guy. And we're going to attack. If I shortcut out to drag him with me to a place with a clue, he's going to drop a clue here and I won't get the victory point. I was thinking of putting him somewhere where I could use Roland's 38 special, but there's really no point. We're just going to machete, which is fine, actually. We're testing 7 against 3. And... yeah, 7 on 3. -4 is an exact hit. We have done another 3 damage with Lita Chandler. The Rougarou is defeated. Resolution 2. Okay. We never found the other victory point enemy, although, frankly, I'm not sure that we would have had time to deal with it, or at least not comfortably. But I'm happy getting 3 victory points from the 3 victory point locations so that I can buy a second charisma going into Midnight Masks. But anyway, Resolution 2 was the whole point of coming here. The Rougarou is destroyed and the curse is lifted. We don't get the weakness. We can add Lady Esprit to our deck. I am not going to. She is not helpful for Midnight Masks, and I don't want an extra card in my deck that is not helpful for what I'm trying to do for Midnight Masks. What I get is another 3 victory, which I'm going to spend on another charisma, and then we're going to roll right into the Midnight Masks. So, I'm going to mark that up and be right back with that. Okay, here we go. We've got Return to the Midnight Masks set up. Let's click our randomizer to randomize our locations and cultists. We've spent our 3 points on a second charisma, so we can have Lita Chandler, Beat Cop, and Lab Assistant or Art Student in play. Let's look at our opening hand. Lita Chandler to start with is good. Let's throw the rest back. Machete is good. Lab Assistant. On the Hunt, Logical Reasoning. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Let's start. We are at Rivertown. It's the original Rivertown. 1 Shroud, 1 Clue. Per usual, we have a Doom track of 6 on the first agenda. We've got our Shuffled Encounter deck, our Shuffled Cultist deck. And... yeah, let's get right into it. Return to the Midnight Masks. Okay. Where do I want to start? I've got Lita Chandler. I've got a weapon. I probably should head to Southside to see if I can find either get a bunch more cards or get Beat Cop. I should probably... and I should probably try to get this clue before I leave. So we're going to test 3 on 1 to get this clue. -2 is a pass. We get the clue. Let's move down to Southside. 3 Shroud, 1 Clue. I can spend an action to draw 3 cards. We'll do that next turn, so I don't have to discard anything. I am going to... I'm actually going to... I'm going to play Lita Chandler first. Just in case I draw an Ever Vigilant that I can use to discount Machete and other things. All right. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into a shortcut. Those. We're at 1 of 6 Doom. I don't want to On the Hunt yet. What do we get? Obscuring Fog. Okay, so this location is Shroud 5. Maybe I set up here and On the Hunt a Disciple of the Devourer here then to get that clue without having to deal with Obscuring Fog. Let's spend an action here and draw 3 cards. I found all my weapons, not like I need all my weapons. There's also Roland's gun we did not get. I was really hoping for an Ever Vigilant. That did not happen. But I mean, if my next three draws were going to be just weapon, 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 might as well get my redundancy out of the way. Well, let's play a lab assistant just in case we get an Ever Vigilant. No, we get paranoid and lose all our resources. But we also get an emergency cache, which now we'll play to get 3 resources back. Okay, game. It's kind of hilarious. All right. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into a Pathfinder. All right, man, where's my Ever Vigilant? All right, 2 out of 6 Doom. I still don't want to On the Hunt because I don't yet have a weapon in play. What's our encounter card? It whiffs. Second Obscuring Fog. You can only have 1, so this one just goes away. That's pretty funny that Obscuring Fogs were top decked. All right. I need to play a Machete. I want to get Pathfinder online. I could... I'm really tempted to draw more cards. Try to find my other emergency cache. But I also realize that that is just losing tempo. So I think what I need to do instead... What are these? Don't know. I think what I need to do instead is play a Machete and get a move on. And maybe work my way up to the top part of the map. Downtown, I believe, has a 50-50 chance of giving me more resources. I could Pathfinder. But then I don't have a weapon. Weapon move. That might be the way. Let's play the Machete. And yeah, it hurts to leave this clue behind, but the alternative is to sit here and then On the Hunt, and I can On the Hunt somewhere else. So we'll move twice. 1, 2. Up to East Town. 4 Shroud, 2 clues. It's the one where you can reload, add more ammo or supply tokens to an asset. Useful if I get Roland's gun. I don't think I'm going to bother with these automatics. They are backup for the Machete. All right. No enemies on the board. Can I shortcut? No, I should save that. And evidence. Okay, that's good. That's good. 3 out of 6. Now is the time. Now I'm going to play Ever Vigilant to look for a Disciple of the Devourer. top 9 of the deck. Yes, there's a disciple who spawns engaged with me instead of the other side of the map. He gets a doom, and now I can defeat him and use evidence to get 2 clues. So let's attack with the machete. We're testing 6 against 3. A skull is -1. So he's defeated, and I will play evidence, get both of these clues. Okay, good. Now, let's move to downtown. Can I get more money here? 3 shroud, 1 clue? I can. I can spend an action to gain 3 resources. And I'm going to do exactly that. Since I'm past paranoia, yep. All right, 3 resources. Next turn, we'll play Pathfinder. Okay, right. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into... Well, there's Ever Vigilant. Now I want to wait to play Pathfinder until I also have an ally in play. Interesting. All right. Mythos. We're at 4 of 6 Doom. Our encounter card is a Hunting Shadow. Spend a clue or take 2 damage. Sure, I'll take 2 damage. I'll put it on Lita. Okay. Like, I could Ever Vigilant to put Pathfinder and... I mean, if I took a resource, I could put Pathfinder and the automatic in play. What am I getting from that? If I get swarmed with enemies, if I wind up with 2 enemies on me, that's what I'm getting from that. Maybe I spend the clues and put a cultist into play. I'm still really waiting to get, I would love to get Beat Cop, but, you know, oh, I should put a resource here to mark that I've done this. Man. Like, if I don't play Pathfinder, then Ever Vigilant is just not doing anything. Or if I play Pathfinder, then why'd I bother with Ever Vigilant? But these are not high value enough. What I want is to get like another ally and like a second Pathfinder to do it. But I could get swarmed with enemies. I could hit Crypt Chill. You know what we're going to do? First, we're going to spend 2 clues to draw a cultist. Who is it? Well, it's Wolfman Drew, who spawns with me. That changes the calculus a bit. I'm going to be fighting this bozo. Okay. 4 fight, 4 health, evade 2. Well, with Lita, I'm swinging 6 against 4, which is good but not great. Let's try it. 6 on 4. -1's a pass. We do 2 damage. Okay, I don't want him to get a chance to hit me back and start healing. So I'm going to attack again, but I'm going to commit this other machete so that we're 7 on 4. Didn't need it, but he is defeated. And I can use Roland's ability to get this clue. All right. I mean, I'm not playing Pathfinder, but I did get a cultist. Okay. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into a Vicious Blow. That's good to see. 5 of 6 Doom. The big guy's going to be showing up soon. What's our encounter card? Mask of Umordoth. So, actually, this is kind of a whiff, because I can pull a Disciple of the Devourer out of the deck. I attach the mask to him. He gets a Doom. It's Agenda 1, so he either gets Doom or a clue, but he does not advance the act, and we're in the Witching Hour already. So maybe I never have to kill this guy. He'll have 3 health and aloof, and he spawns at the farthest location from me, which is what? These are 1 away, 2 away, so it's one of these 3. Either the graveyard, Southside, or St. Mary's Hospital. I mean, let's, I guess, put him at Southside so that if I ever find my way back over there and really need this clue, I have a way of getting it by engaging and defeating this guy. Okay. All right. That's fine. Okay. So I think I'm pathfindering, spawning another cultist. Yeah, let's play Pathfinder. Let's spawn another cultist. Who is it? Alma Hill. Oh, down where I put this guy. Southside, very crowded. Fight 3, health 3, evade 3. Does 2 horror, which is important for Roland to keep in mind. You can parlay her to draw the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, then add her to the victory display, which is a fun thing to do if you do it last. Okay, interesting. All right, so now let's Pathfinder over to North Side, so we're at a place with a clue. A place with 2 clues. 3 Shroud, 2 clues, and you can spend an action and 5 resources to also gain 2 clues. Interesting. Okay. I should stay here in preparation for the big guy coming. And I should probably get a card. What's the Shroud here? 3. I mean, I could attempt to investigate and commit Ever Vigilant. 5 on 3. That's not nothing. That's a 3 and 4 chance. I think in order to do what I need to do, I think I need to take these chances as they come. I am going to investigate. I'm going to commit Ever Vigilant. 5 on 3. Cast exactly. Whew, we get a clue. Okay. All right. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep Roland's 38 special. 1 turn too late for that. But fine. And now we advance. Who's our enemy? It is the Masked Hunter. Fight 4, health 6, evade 2. Fight 4, health 6, evade 2. So, okay. And, right. So I'd be testing 6 on 4. That's not great. And it is going to take me 3 hits. Because I only have a Vicious Blow. I don't have a Beat Cop. A little tricky. To be blunt, I was hoping for the other guy. But, okay. It is what it is. And our encounter card is... Gosh dang it, it's Masked Horrors. Doom on the agenda, not this card. I guess I shouldn't have spawned, but you don't know. Like, if you hang on to clues so that Masked Horrors won't hit you, that's when you draw false lead and wind up dropping all your clues on the board, which is, not good. All right. What are we doing here? Are we attempting to defeat this guy? I need to nail him 3 times. I think I just need to go for the 3 on 4 hit each time. Like, maybe I could commit Roland's special for the last hit, but it's not worth it to use the Vicious Blow. All right, let's go for it. 6 on 4. That's an inauspicious start. -3. He's going to hit us at least once. Let's try again. 6 on 4. That a hit, at least. That's 2 damage. One more time. 6 on 4. Okay, that hit. We missed 1. So, in the enemy phase, he's going to hit us for 2 damage and a horror. We'll put the horror on the lab assistant and the damage on Roland. Okay. We upkeep into a lab assistant. Since this one might not be long for this world, that's fine. Okay, Mythos. We're 2 of 8. Our encounter card, Mask of Umordoth. So we have to put this on... I guess we put it on Alma and plan to parlay her? Question mark? The alternative is to make this guy have a whopping 5 health. I think that's what it has to be. Alma has masked up, and we're going to have to parlay her. Okay, interesting. Let's fight this guy again. 6 on 4. Elder Sign. Okay, so he's defeated at least. We use Roland's ability to get this clue. Okay. Let's spend the clues. Who's our cultist? It's Ruth Turner down in the hospital. Okay. We need to make our way down there. Let's Pathfinder down to the university. Yeah, I'm not spending resources to get clues. I don't think I need the resources for other things. So, okay, that's... I have one more action. I'm pondering moving down to St. Mary's. Yes, Ruth will engage me and she'll start punching me. But next turn, I could, with 2 attacks, defeat her and pick up a clue there. Pathfinder in and parlay Alma Hill? This seems like a terrible plan. I could shortcut down now. Get 1 hit in on Ruth. Because the evade is not happening. Well, if I drew... Actually, let's think this through. Because these automatics have a foot commit. 3, 4... I committed the special. That'd be 6 on 5. You know what we do? We move down. We take 2 horror and get this clue? No. No. We move down. But if we draw... We might draw Inquiring Mind. If I draw Inquiring Mind, then I may go for the evade. If not, we're going to fight her. But either way, we're moving down. We need to be getting clues while dealing with cultists. St. Mary's Hospital, 2 shroud, 1 clue, heal 3 damage. All right. Ruth punches us for 1 damage, which will go on Roland. And we upkeep in 2. Second shortcut. Is a foot commit. I don't know. Let's see. 3 + 1 is 4 of 8 doom. Our encounter card is a hunting shadow. Spend a clue or take 2 damage. We'll take 2 damage, even though Roland is getting pretty beat up. All right. Is it worth my going for the evade? 3, 4. If I commit the gun, 5, 6. I'd have to commit my shortcuts. No, the shortcuts are saving me actions. Better to go the tried and true. We're going to fight Ruth Turner with the machete. We're testing 6 against 2. +1 is a pass. We do 2 damage. Let's do it again. 6 on 2. -1 is a pass. She's defeated. We use Roland's ability to get this clue. I can Pathfinder in, and I can parlay Alma Hill, and get just a boatload of cards and counter cards. But I do think that's what I need to do. Well, no, you know what I should do? I should play Roland's gun, because if I parlay a bunch of cards, I might get bogged down with enemies and not have actions to deal with them if I do it end of the round. It's a real puzzle, isn't it? Well, that's what we enjoy about the game. I could play the second lab assistant. Instead of the gun. You know what? Let's do that. We're going to Pathfinder in next turn. I need to be prepared. Lab assistant. Draw 2 cards. Perception and Eureka. You know what? I'll take some commits. I'm going to have to discard a couple cards. It's going to be these automatics, I think, that I'm never going to play. All right. No enemies do anything. We upkeep into cover up. Well, whatever. We're not dealing with that. So I got to discard 1 card. I'll discard 1 automatic. All right. We're at 4 + 1 is 5 of 8 Doom. I don't know that this is happening. We're going to try. Our encounter card is a locked door. Location with most clues. That attaches down... I mean, yeah, I'm not going to be investigating here, so that's fine. Just put all the cards in South Side. Why don't we? Okay. I got to do this parlay. It sucks, but I got to do it. All right, we're going to Pathfinder in to South Side. Alma and her mask engage me. She has 5 health. I guess I could attack her twice with Vicious Blow. You know what? Maybe that is the way, and then I get this clue. Yeah. Because the mask doesn't make her aloof, it makes her gain retaliate. All right, we're going to try it that way. We're going to attack. We'll attack with the machete. So we're testing 6 on 3, because this guy doesn't engage because the mask makes him aloof. So we're fighting 6 on 3. -1 is a pass. We do 2 damage. We're going to fight again. We'll commit Vicious Blow. We're testing 7 on 3. Skulls -1. She is defeated. And I use Roland's ability to get this clue out from under all this nonsense. Okay. Okay. We got to spend it and make another cultist appear, right? Yeah, I think that's what that's what we have to do. Who is it? Peter Warren. Right over here at the university. Okay. Okay, maybe. Because if I can defeat him, I can get this clue. I could take 2 horror to get another clue. Spawn the last cultist. It's possible. I want to be in his location. Do I shortcut over there now? No, it probably... No. No, it doesn't make sense. No, we'll wait. We'll go over there next turn. Okay. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep into an art student. Okay. Mythos. We're at 5 of 8 Doom. Okay. What do we get? Hunting Shadow. Spend a clue or take 2 damage. I mean, once again, ooh. I mean, it's 2 damage. The question is, am I going to let a lab assistant go? I think the answer is yes. Oh, I didn't actually need to discard that. I shouldn't have discarded the automatic because the lab assistants made my hand size larger that one turn. I was thinking hand size 8. So I should still have that. Not that it's likely going to matter, but I should still have it. But I am going to take a damage on Roland and a damage on this lab assistant, and she's defeated. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, let's get Peter. We're going to Pathfinder over to Peter Warren. Fight 2, health 3 of 8, 3. I don't have an extra damage trick, so I am going to just have to hit him twice with the machete. So we're testing 6 on 2. 0's a pass. That does 2 damage. Do that again. 6 on 2. He's defeated. Okay, that's 5. We use Roland's ability to get a clue. And I think We use the university, spend an action and take 2 horror. 1 on this lab assistant, 1 on Lita to get another clue. Now I have the clues I need. I don't have yet... I don't have an action yet to spend it to reveal the last cultist. Okay. All right. Whereas the dream might manifest. All right. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep into a vicious blow. That's good to see. Lab assistant means we're just at hand size. 6 of 8 doom. What's our encounter card? Crypt Chill. Well, this might be the other lab assistant going, but you know what? Did her job. 3 against 4. Yeah, I'm not committing anything into this. Good thing, -4. All right, lab assistant, you did your job. Okay. Okay, let's reveal the last cultist. Who is it? Billy Cooper. Okay. Up here in Easttown. A challenge, to be sure. Because I don't have a friendly monster to kill in front of him. So what I'm thinking about is he is fight 5. So even with Lita and the machete, I'm swinging at 6 on 5, and that's not super great. I have Vicious Blow, but I don't have anything else other than Roland's 38 special. Now, what I could do, if I played Roland's 38 special, went to engage Billy Cooper, then played both shortcuts to go to the graveyard, where there are clues. Then I could fight him using Roland's 38 special, and I'd be swinging at 8 instead of 6, and that is meaningful. Do I have enough actions to accomplish that? If I played the special, I Pathfindered to Rivertown. Then I could walk into Billy Cooper with my last action. He engages me. I play both shortcuts to scoot to the graveyard. I'll take a horror hit in the graveyard, and then he'll hit me for 2 damage. And I'd be 1 away. I guess technically 2 away with Lita Chandler's help from defeat. Which means if I do all that and I draw another Hunting Shadow, I'm cooked. But there aren't any more. I've drawn all 3. I think that's the edge that I need to ride. What's the alternative? I could Pathfinder and shortcut over to him and attempt to just straight up defeat him with 2 hits. That's the alternative. I could commit Roland's gun to one of those hits, and that would be 8 against 5. I could commit Vicious Blow to the other hit, and that would be 7 against 5. I'm not thrilled with the 7 against 5. Does he have Retaliate? He does not. You know what? Maybe that, as fancy as the play the gun and drag him into the graveyard play sounded in my head, and also when I spoke it out loud, the reality is I can get 2 reasonable chances hits. And even if one misses, next turn I can spam 6 on 5, and I would only need 1 more of them to hit, and it is just better than a coin flip. Okay, let's do the sensible thing. Let's Pathfinder into Rivertown. Let's shortcut over to Easttown. Hello, Mr. Billy Cooper, last cultist. And let's try it. Let's go for these commits. First, we're attacking. We'll commit. We'll do the special first. Yeah, we'll commit the special first. So with Lita's help and the machete and this, we're testing 8 against 5. We're 3 up. A skull is 0. There is no doom on anyone in play. So that's 2 damage. It's halfway there. Let's try again. Vicious blow. This time we are at 7 against 5. We're 2 up. We did it! Skull is 0. 6 cultists handled. We advance. We even had a round to spare. Did we have a round to spare? What was the next card? Oh, it was a Night Gaunt. That's pretty funny, because if I just defeated the Night Gaunt, that would have parlayed Billy Cooper, and that would have taken care of him as well. But yeah. Oh my goodness. That was tense. I was not sure that was going to happen. But, you know, you need some kind of edge to get all 6 cultists, especially in solo. And in Roland, that edge is get your clues by defeating the cultists as you spawn them. So that you're doing the 2 things you need to do: get clues and defeat the cultists with the same set of actions. And Pathfinder helps tremendously as well. All right, we did it. We advance. And we've got the story text, which is, specific to all of the cultists that are in the regular game. This time around, we had, 2 of the Return to cultists and 4 of the regulars. But we did it. We have completed the achievement Conspiracy of Silence. Okay. And we get 9 victory points. 7 from these balloon heads, and then, right, we got the North Side and East Town victory. We never went to the graveyard, and you know what? That's just fine. All right. Well, that was the main thing I wanted. We are going to roll into Devourer below and see, with 9 victory points, whether Roland can survive and complete this campaign successfully. But even if not, this was a blast, and I'm very happy that the deck worked to accomplish this. So, pausing here, be back shortly with Return to the Devourer below. All right, here we are with Return to the Devourer below. Let's see if Roland can finish the job. We have 9 points to spend on upgrades. I'm spending 6 on Stick to the Plan so that I can have 3 tactic or supply events available from the get-go. And the 3 that I'm taking are Ever Vigilant for a setup turn, and On the Hunt, so I can pull an enemy when I want to get a clue by defeating it, and a shortcut for a free move. With my other 3 points, I'm taking Encyclopedia 2 and Combat Training 1. These are both attempts at a solution for the willpower or agility tests that you need to accomplish to put clues on the final act of this scenario. Roland, with willpower 3 and agility 2, needs help to accomplish that. I do not have much in the way of icons for those in my deck, so hopefully I'll be able to get one or the other of these and either use Encyclopedia to boost my will to 5 to make the test reasonable, or spend resources through combat training to pump my agility to accomplish those tests. Again, reminder, my card pool here is limited to Core, Dunwich, Carcosa, and only the Forgotten Age Deluxe Box and the very first blister pack Threads of Fate. So my options for accomplishing this are pretty limited, but this is what I've come up with. And I've dropped a perception and an evidence, since book icons are kind of the least useful thing I can have at this point. Yeah, I need to pick up clues, but most of that is probably going to be from Roland killing things. So that is that. We've got our 10 Arkham Woods locations. We've shuffled these up. Let's put 4 into play randomly. Nope, not the whole forest, just those. Okay. We've got our Agents of Ancient Ones. Shuffle, pull 1 random, put it in the encounter deck, shuffle that up. Doom track of 4 in the first agenda. Since we got interrogated all the named cultists, we don't have to put any starting Doom on this, which is great. We need 3 clues to advance the act. We are putting an Elder Thing token in the bag, which is a lovely -5. And let's look at our opening hand. We have 2 mental traumas since we didn't cure cover-up last time, so we're riding the edge with 3 sanity. Let's see what we can do about that. Well, hopefully not be paranoid. All right, machete is good. An art student is a reasonable starting thing from with ever vigilant. Logical reasoning would be pretty good to heal off the horror on myself at the beginning. I could move into a location with a clue, ever vigilant, to get machete. Well, you know, what I really want, though, is another asset so that I can get full value out of ever vigilant. It's maybe a bad move, but I'll put the logical reasoning and one art student back. I'm going to keep the emergency cache. Let's see what else we get. Well, we're not covering up, but a lab assistant and the other shortcut in my deck. Okay. All right. Well, I still have, even though I don't have my premium allies of Lita Chandler or the B-Cop 2, maybe I'll find a calling in favors. I can still move to a location with a clue, ever vigilant to put machete, art student, and lab assistant into play, and then carry on from there. So let's do exactly that. We've revealed the main path. 2 Shroud, no clues. You can spend an action to resign and give up on life. And yeah, let's right away move to a location where our art student can sketch the place. Twisting. Oh no, it's the twisting paths. And we might have just lost right away. Ah, my goodness. 3 Shroud, 1 clue. When you move out of the location test, intellect 3, if you fail, you cancel your move. Well, maybe the lab assistant will draw us something that'll help with that. Oh my goodness. All right, well, we still want this clue. Let's stick to the plan. We're going to play ever vigilant. We'll spend 1 resource to play the lab assistant and draw 2 cards. Well, there's... Did I not shuffle this? No, I must have. I didn't have the inquiring mind. Well, there's logical reasoning. Of course, inquiring mind... Wow. I need the clue. Like, I could abandon the clue, like not play art student, or even play it and not take the clue, and then use inquiring mind to leave, or attempt to leave. Is that really what I want to do? I don't think it is. Oh my goodness, what a weird predicament. What's our chances of passing on 0? I mean, just over 1 in 3. The skulls are 0 right now because there's no monsters. I may just need to spam trying to leave. No, I don't think I can productively abandon this clue. All right. Whereas machete, we're spending 2 to play that, so we have a weapon. 2, 3, and then 1 more to play this art student. Probably the biggest mistake. I will use her to get this clue. Okay. And frankly, maybe we pause here and if an enemy shows, well, I mean, potentially I could get out. I'd love to get out. But I'm also cognizant that I have logical reasoning, which can heal the 2 horror. Although I do have horror soak. I think I need to spam attempts to leave. We're gonna try. Yeah, we're gonna try with the skull is 0. All right, we're at 3 on 3. We're gonna try to leave. Nope, no such luck. All right, no enemies. We upkeep into. Roland's 38 special. I really want to play that, but it might help us leave if I commit it. This is hilarious. All right, 1 of 4 doom. We've shuffled this. What's our encounter card? We're frozen in fear. I mean, I can play logical reasoning to get rid of this, and maybe I have to. Oh, this should be in the discard. Yeah, I think I have to. Okay. All right. Well, let's play logical reasoning to get rid of the frozen in fear. Let's play this emergency cache for 3 resources. I don't care. It's too important to have in play. I am going to play Roland's 38 special. And I'm going to try, while there's no monsters, I'm going to use, no. Yes. I'm going to use the shortcut on my stick to the plan to try to leave. Once again, we are 3 on 3. Hey, Elder Sign! It's a 0. We pass and get the heck out of this hateful location. Woohoo! All right, no enemies on the board. We upkeep into an On the Hunt, which I might play and use shortcut to go to a location and get rewarded for killing a thing. And in fact, let's do exactly that. We're 2 of 4. I'm going to play this On the Hunt. What's in our top 9? We've got the Agents of Cthulhu in the deck, the Young Deep Ones, and the whatever's the one that reduces your sanity. So that's spooky. But for this, we're going to pull a Disciple of the Devourer, who will spawn engaged with me. We'll get a Doom, because it's Agenda 1. But hopefully I can kill this guy. All right. So on my turn, I'm first going to play Shortcut to move to a location with a clue. Tangled Thicket to shroud 1 clue. Investigated using Fist. Well, I don't plan to investigate. I plan to kill this guy. Let's see if we can't kill this guy. With the machete, we're testing 5 on 3. I'm going to save Roland's 38 special for the more difficult shots that I'm sure I'm going to need to take later on. 5 on 3 with the machete. 0's a pass. This guy's defeated. We use Roland's ability to get a clue. And then, since I have another On the Hunt on tap, I'm going to move twice to get to another location where I can hopefully play it. What do we got? The Old House. Shroud 2, 1 clue. Investigated using willpower. Okay, and I'm going to move these just so it's a little neater looking. Okay. All right. Interesting. All right, no enemies. We upkeep. Second machete. All right. We're at 3 of 4 Doom, and I am going to again play On the Hunt. I 1 enemy to get this clue. Whoa, what do we got in their top 9? Well, I guess I'm taking another Disciple of the Devourer, who again gets a Doom. Okay. Well, it was worth doing once. It's worth doing a second time. We're going to try to machete this guy. 5 on 3. 0 is a pass. He is defeated. We get this clue. Since I've used up my logical reasoning, no real reason not to spend these clues and advance the act. The ritual site comes into play, and the cultists who got away spawn in the main path, of which there are none. So now we advance if I go to the ritual site. But I don't want to rush in there, because if I do, when you enter, an enemy will spawn there, and I want to have an opportunity to fight it. And if I go in there empty of actions, it's just going to sucker punch me. Also, next turn when this advances, we're going to be in Agenda 2, where enemies are tougher, +1 fight, +1 evade, which is significant. And an enemy with Doom is going to spawn in the main path, which I may need to try to defeat. So, what are my options? I could sit here and draw. I have no resources. I have no other cards. I could move twice, and not for the ritual site, but rather, well, do I go for the ritual site? Whatever I have to fight there is going to be that much harder to defeat. But I do have Roland's 38 special. So maybe maybe I don't care as much. Am I willing to take the hit? That's the question. To get past and try to blitz the scenario. Maybe not. And the reason being, I don't yet have any tech. I don't yet have the combat training. I don't yet have encyclopedia. I don't have tech in hand to accomplish the final tests. But on the other hand, what will it be? Moving in and letting it sucker punch me in the enemy phase just feels bad. Okay, I am going to move, but not to the ritual site. I'm going to move twice to this final location. The wooden bridge. I moved here because there's a clue, and I can still productively use that clue. But more importantly, that will power up my gun, and it lets me Inquiring Mind if I get a really bad treachery draw. Wooden bridge, 3 shroud, 1 clue. After you reveal a chaos token during an evasion attempt here, reveal and resolve an additional token. That's fine. If Roland is trying to evade, all hope is already lost. Okay, no enemies. We upkeep into a Eureka. Okay. The agenda advances. So, discard shuffles into the encounter deck. We draw until a monster is discarded, spawn at the main path with a doom on it. All right, what do we get? Nope, not him, because he's not a monster. This is Young Deep One. Okay. The problem is, well, this guy's going to hunt in on me, but I just have to brace for impact. The bigger problem is that during Agenda 2, which is 5 doom, every enemy gets +1 fight and +1 evade. So this bozo is a 4/3/4. That's like a coin flip to successfully hit with the machete. I might use the gun on this. But I've got allies to take the blow when he enters. So, all right. But what is our encounter card? Oh my goodness, it's a Mordoth's Wrath. It's willpower 5. For each point you fail by, either choose and discard a card from your hand or take a damage in a horror. I was afraid of this, which is why I'm sitting with a clue. So I am going to commit Inquiring Mind. I'll be 6 on 5. Is it worth my using Eureka? I think it probably is. So that I pass, like right now the skulls are -1 because there's a monster in play. Yeah, I think it is worthwhile my putting Eureka into this. 7 on 7? Yeah, 7 on 5. We're 2 up. We pass by 2. So we weather that, and with Eureka, hey, Lita Chandler as opposed to Paranoia. Now, there's also the combat training. That is one of the things that I want for the finale, but right now what I really want is Lita Chandler to help me fight the incoming enemies. So, we're going to play her. Good. Excellent. And we're going to brace for impact so that when we defeat it, we can get this clue. When. Actually, before we play, we'll play her last. We'll draw first. Yeah, we'll draw a card. We're building up. Another art student. That's fine, because this art student is not long for this world. We're going to draw another card. We have our cover up, which we're not going to care about in the slightest. That's fine. And now we'll play Lita Chandler. Okay. Seems good. This Young Deep One moves in. When it engages, I take a horror that goes an art student, and then attacks doing a damage in a horror, which defeats this art student. Fine. We upkeep into a spare gun. Probably not going to be played, but I mean, you never know. Put Lita in her primary ally slot. Mythos, we are at 1+1 is 2 of 5 doom. Our encounter card. Oh boy. It's another Young Deep One. If I didn't have Lita Chandler, I would be toast. Even with her, I might be toast. But, okay. So when this engages, I take a horror, which will go on the lab assistant. I mean, let's swing away. Let's see. With Lita, we'll be testing one moment. All right, let's pick back up. Apologies for the interruption. So we've got two young deep ones. But thankfully, we have Lita Chandler and Roland's 38 special. So let's start shooting with the 38 special. With Lita's boost, and because we are at a place with a clue, we are testing 8 against a boosted 4. So let's fire. A skull is a -2, since there's 2 monsters, so that hits. 2 damage, +1 from Lita Chandler, because this is a monster. Gone. I am not using Roland's ability yet, because I want to shoot this other one again with the special. I could try the machete, but I'd be swinging only 6 on 4. I would much rather be 8 on 4 for this, dangerous enemy. So 8 on 4, shooting again. -1. With Lita's help, it is defeated, and now we will use Roland's ability to grab this clue. Whew. All right. Good. Now, yeah, let's move back to the main path. There's no reason to stay here since the clue is gone. And now we will go into the ritual site next turn, hopefully. That's the plan. All right, no enemies. We upkeep into an emergency cache. We're at 2 of 5 Doom. Our encounter card, Mask of Umordoth. So I have to pull a cultist from the encounter deck. Gonna take my clue, and he's gonna get a Doom, and he's gonna become aloof and have +2 health. I mean, my only options are, this guy's not a cultist, is he? No, humanoid monster ghoul. The only options are the corpse taker, which is a monstrosity of an enemy. Where even is it? Oh yeah, there he is. He'd be fight 5. No thanks. A disciple of the Devourer is what we are getting. So, not great, since it is Agenda 2. This guy gets a Doom on him, and he steals my clue. Oh well. And I have to put him at the location farthest from me. So, that's any location other than the main path. Yes. I mean, I guess it's fine for me to put him at the ritual site, since he will be aloof. So he's not going to bother me unless I really want to engage and have an enemy to fight to defeat. I don't think anything turns this off. Yeah, I guess so. He's going to be at the ritual site, which means the clue that he stole gets dropped here. But he's just going to hang out and watch, since he's right now, fight 4, health 3, evade 1, and aloof. That's funny. All right. Well, I don't like losing the clue, but it is what it is. I think we move into the ritual site. 3 shroud, 2 clues. At the end of the round, it replenishes up to 2 clues. And we advance the act. Shuffle the discard pile in the encounter deck. Oh, I forgot it shuffles. Am I going to get one of these? Well, we'll find out. Young deep one again. Discard cards in the top until an enemy is discarded and spawn it at the ritual site. This is the one that I'm going to have to deal with. What is it? Oh my God. This is exactly what I didn't want. The corpse taker. So, fight 5, since he's boosted by the agenda. Health 3, evade 3. Fortunately, we got another bullet, and hopefully it'll be enough. So, we're Act 3. This is the final act. You can spend an action and a clue to test willpower or agility 3. If you succeed, you place a clue in the act. If I get 2 clues on the act, I advance and am victorious. But I've got my work cut out for me. All right. I mean, I think I try to shoot this guy. At least we have clues in the location. But we only have 2 more bullets, and this is going to be one of them. So we are swinging 8 against 5. We're 3 up. A tablet is -3. So we pass exactly. I take a damage because he's a monster, but Roland can take a damage. I mean, I guess I can put it on Lita. There's no real reason not to. But thankfully, with Lita's help, this guy is defeated. Ooh, that's spooky. And I get a clue. Not sure why I did it that way. Sorry. Yeah, there we go. I have the clue. And again, this guy's aloof, so he's just hanging out. Okay. Now what? Frankly, let's keep getting our soak up, and we do need 2 clues, at least 2 clues. I'm gonna spend 2 to play this art student and pick up another clue. All right. Now it's a matter of digging until I get one of my help me pass those willpower or agility test cards. But that's the end of the round, or my turn, I should say. No enemies on the board. Well, again, no enemies that do anything. This guy's just aloof. I'm okay with the Doom making this advance 1 round earlier. I don't think it's probably not worth it for me to try to engage and kill this guy. Since he's not a monster, the Corpse Taker is a monster, so Lita helped me do extra damage. I can't kill him in a single hit, unless I like draw a vicious blow. That's a separate thing. I might get it. Who knows? We'll see. Or Beat Cop, that would help me do it. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to bother with him. Upkeep, what are we getting? Pathfinder. Too little, too late. I don't plan to move. It's a foot commit. That's really all it is right now. It did its job in Midnight Masks. All right, we're at 3 + 1 is 4 of 5 Doom. Our encounter card is Umordal's Hunger. Discard a card at random. If I have no cards, after that I'm killed. Fortunately, I have cards. And every enemy heals a damage. All right, well, what's my random discard? It is that 45 automatic. Okay. Which was a foot icon, so that's a little disappointing. I think I'm just drawing. I'm looking for either the encyclopedia or the combat training. So let's draw. Calling in favors. Yes. We're going to play Calling in Favors to pull back this lab assistant. And let's search the top 9. One moment. Apologies for the interruption. We were in the middle of a Calling in Favors on the lab assistant. I'd love to, well, I'm not sure I would love to play the Beat Cop. But I can't anyway, because I'm playing an ally for 2 cheaper and I only have 1 resource. What I can do is play this other lab assistant, both to refresh my soak and to draw 2 cards. Well, there's the Beat Cop, just in case becomes necessary, but hopefully not. And, all right. And we have 1 more action. Do I draw again? Let's see. Beat Cop is a foot icon, so is Pathfinder. I do want to draw more, because again, my combat training and the encyclopedia are in there. But actually, I think what I want to... I was about to say I should play my emergency cache. But there's a paranoia still waiting for me in here, right? I didn't... So I think I just draw again. Yeah, I'm going to draw again. Another automatic. It's another foot icon. Okay, that's fine. The enemies don't do anything. We upkeep into. There's my combat training. Okay, so we're going to get that. We're going to use resources and foot commits and try to win the game that way. All right, if we can. Now, the agenda advances, which frankly, oh boy, I just had a thought of what's coming. This might be bad. We test willpower 6, and if we fail, we add a random basic madness weakness to our hand. That could be amnesia, and I could be losing almost all of these cards. Welp. We're testing 3 against 6. I have no willpower commits. So here we go. Skull is actually a 0 right now because there are no monsters in play, but that's a fail. I have all the madness weaknesses in the pool right here. What do I get? It's amnesia. Oh my goodness. Discard all but one card in your hand. I should have played the emergency cache. Well, I am keeping the combat training and everything else is getting junked. That's real funny. Okay. Sure. So now we have a Doom track of 5 on the third agenda. I have to win before it runs out, or else Umordoth is going to show up, and that'll be that. The discard wasn't supposed to shuffle, was it? Let's see, there was agenda 2. Let me just double check. No, does not. Okay. Ooh. Right. Sorry. Losing my mind. Let's draw our encounter card. Oh no. I might be about to lose the combat training, huh? Well, we're testing willpower 3. It's chill from below. For each point I fail by, discard a card at random from your hand. For each card you can't discard, take a damage. This is a real 1-2 punch. 3 on 3. But a skull is 0 because there's no monster enemies in play. We pass. Oh boy. Well, let's play the combat training before the world removes it from my grip. Okay. Of course, now I need more cards. So we're going to draw a vicious blow. Have I seen both my emergency caches? I have. The drawing is not going to get me more resources. Am I just at the point of spamming take a resource until I can comfortably spend through combat training? I mean, maybe. Oh, this place also should have replenished to 2 clues. Because what is comfortable, right? Comfortable is at least testing 3 up, which means getting up to 6, which means spending 4 resources on a combat training test. I still took a card because I didn't want to be going into the round with just 1 card in hand. If I drew again that this, Mordoth's Hunger, I would have died. If I'd drawn that just now, I would have died. So the goal is to not die. Yeah, I'm going to spend 2 actions that take 2 resources. Next round, I'll have 4. Unless I'm about to draw Paranoia. Hold on. No, we're going to draw cards. Because we still might need cards. And, ooh. I still have 1 Inquiring Mind in the deck. That will be helpful. And, of course, I could find the Encyclopedia as my alternate pool here. No, I'm going to draw now while I have only 1 resource to lose for Paranoia. And next turn, I'll spend resource. I'll click for resources. So let's draw a card. Eureka, that also will be helpful for a foot or willpower test. And draw again. Calling in favors. That's also a foot test. I think we're past all our allies. Right? B cop, art student, lab assistant. Yes, but it's a foot. All right. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep into... There's Paranoia. Card draws before resource gain, so I lose all my resources and then get 1 in upkeep. So it only cost me 1 resource. That's fine. Mythos. We're at 1 of 5 Doom. Our encounter card is a Grave Eater. At least now that we're in Agenda 3, the enemies are no longer have their fight or evade buffed. There's just all this force stuff when the agenda advances. So, he's only fight 2, health 2, evade 2. I can kill this guy to get another clue as a backup. So, that's what we're going to do. We're going to fight this guy with the machete. With Alita, we are testing 6 on 2. We're 4 up. -2 is a pass. It's defeated. We might as well use our ability to get another clue. And now we're going to, let's see. We're at 2, 3, 4, 5. We want to be at 6. So we're going to click for a resource. And then we're going to attempt, we're going to spend a clue to try to put one on the act. We're testing foot. We're at 2 against 3. Spend 2 resources, 4 on 3, 5 on 3, 6 on 3. We're 3 up. -1 is a pass. We are halfway there. We've got 1 of 2 needed clues on the act. And with Eureka, we get to search our top 3. There's Inquiring Mind. Okay. All right, we might pull this off. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep in 2. There's Vicious Blow. Okay. Mythos. We're at 2 of 5 doom. Our encounter card is... Well, there's this Chill from Below again. Test Willpower 3. Which point you fail by, discard a card at random from your hand. I mean... I don't care about the Vicious Blows. I want the Inquiring Mind. We're just going to take this 3-all. I could commit Inquiring Mind, but that, that loses the purpose because the only thing I want is to keep the Inquiring Mind. 3 up. 3 against 3. +1. We pass. Okay. Well, I can commit Inquiring Mind and spend this resource, and then I'm testing 6 on 3. But I might as well do my best to summon the autofail by clicking twice for 2 more resources. And now doing the put a clue on the act test with Inquiring Mind and spending 3 resources through combat training to be 8 on 3. We're 5 up. And we did not summon the autofail. We pulled a 0. We have passed. We have accomplished our goal, and we advance. Resolution 1, the ritual is broken. And that's that. Roland Banks has managed to do it, and this disciple of the Devourer is just like, yep, all right, I guess it's a fair cop. And then Roland hauls him off to jail, because that's how things roll. Okay, we've done it. We've completed Return to the Night of the Zealot successfully with Roland Banks. Arkham Like It's 2018. We got all 6 cultists in Midnight Masks. This was a blast. I really enjoyed this, just like all of the others. What's next for Arkham Like It's 2018? There's still 3 achievements I have left to get here. The Zealot's Revenge, which I'm flabbergasted has not happened organically. It's have Lita Chandler's reaction ability deal the killing blow to the Ghoul Priest. I'm still laughing that it didn't happen this time in the Gathering, but it just wasn't going to happen. And what are the other 2? Umordroth's Favor, which is win the campaign without defeating a single ghoul. That's tricky, because that means in the Gathering you can't kill anything but rats, which means you're not getting any victory point ghouls, for one thing. You can kill whatever you like in Midnight Masks. None of those enemies are ghouls. But then once we get back to here, Devour Below, well, there's cultists, there's the agents of whichever ancient one gets shoveled in, but then there's the ghouls again. It also means the Ghoul Priest will be alive the whole way through. I gotta decide who's gonna be doing that. And then finally, Arkham Expertise, win on expert difficulty. Probably the hardest. That might be 3 runs if on Expertise I can't defeat the Ghoul Priest. I obviously can't defeat the Ghoul Priest with Lita Chandler in the same run where I'm not defeating any ghouls. But we'll see. We'll see who's in store for that. Somebody evadey. I mean, I'm thinking maybe Finn Edwards, even though Willpower 1 is a real spooky in this campaign, which has a lot of willpower treacheries. But a bonus action to evade is hard to pass up. And for Expert, maybe Agnes, since she has built-in testless damage. But I have to real carefully plot that line, especially because to win with Agnes, I probably will need to turtle and defeat Umordroth on expert difficulty, which could happen. But that's a story for another day. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for being on this wild ride with me. Until next time, take it easy, everyone.